Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Father's Day event that is happening this weekend here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. I wanted to wait until 2KDB updated the duos, but they haven't updated the duos yet, and I don't want to wait all day. If they update the duos at some point, I'll go through and look at all 10 of them specifically and see if any of them are actually worth picking up. But in all honesty, this is in my opinion, extremely mediocre excuse for content. It's an idea that I like, except I believe it is very poorly executed. And that is my frustration with it. So there's good from this and there's also bad from this, in my personal opinion. And I kind of want to go through and explain what my thought process is on something like this. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So for Father's Day this weekend, you can earn 10 father-son dynamic duos that turn into 2 dark matters. You get each of them will be a dark matter. And you can get them from unlocking middle prize spots on breakout, and middle isn't the actual middle of the board, it's like the middle of each side. So there's 4 prize spots that can be these Father's Day players in breakout. And then you win ball drops. You get ball drops for winning in domination, salary cap, or showdown. And obviously you can get these dynamic duos from the auction house as well. And some of the dynamic duos are Doc Rivers on Austin Rivers, as well as LeBron and Bronny, and then Bill and Luke Walton. There's also Rick Barry and like Brent Barry, I believe, and a couple of others as well, like Henry Bibby and Mike Bibby. There's several of them. I think there's Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jaren Jackson Sr. And there are a couple of dark matters that you can get for free out of this that are actually good cards. Specifically, I saw both. Let's just see what players are in here. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Sr. is in here. Jawan Howard and Jet Howard, I guess, is another duo. Larry Nance Sr. and Jr. is going to be another duo. So those are the most of the duos. But the most interesting one that I saw was that Rick Barry, his dark matter is earnable in this, as is dark matter Jaren Jackson Jr. So 2 pretty good dark matter cards right there that can be earned for free from this event. And I do like extra content. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of extra content in my team. This is something in addition to a festival event or regular pack content or something like that, and I'm always going to be for that. You know what I mean? Something new, something extra, something more to do and to spend your time on in this game, and that's always going to be a positive to me. The problem is the dynamic duos themselves probably, I'm pretty sure, all suck in terms of actually being duos that you would want to use online. So if you're looking at this from an online showdown player standpoint, this is kind of pointless for the most part. You know what I mean? There's only a couple of good cards in this period, as far as I can tell. And I don't know, sure, it's fine. I like the idea, but I honestly kind of like what 2K did last year with Father's Day more, to be completely honest, because last year what they did was they dropped like 2 Father's Day challenge agenda groups, and the rewards for those agenda groups were a dark matter Rick Barry and a dark matter Larry Nance. And those cards were very good cards, and both of them were high level options that you could earn entirely for free and were really, really good cards. And so I was like kind of cool with this. There were also dynamic duos, and you could earn the players for the dynamic duos as well, but the dynamic duos themselves weren't that great. I think it might have been Evos. I can't remember last year now, to be totally honest. It was a little confusing. I don't exactly remember how it worked last year now that I say that, but I do think as a whole, like last year, being able to earn a dark matter Rick Barry for free, who was a really good shooting guard, by the way, and then a dark matter Larry Nance as well. Same story, was a really, really good small forward, 6'10", switchable defender with a nice jump shot. And you got to remember, last year's pacing wasn't as aggressive as this year's pacing as well. There weren't as many like invincible and perfect sig and perfect animation cards last year. It was a lot slower progression, I feel like. And even in June, around Father's Day, we were getting these dark matters that were really good cards. At this point in the year, only a few dark matters are truly elite. I mean, because we've been so far ahead in terms of the pacing this year, and we've been getting these invincibles and now these GOAT cards for months now, especially on these invincibles now. So at the end of the day, it's like, it's not, I don't know, this isn't awful. I'm not going to sit here and like get angry at 2K for dropping something for Father's Day, but it's not as good as last year's content, in my opinion. It's not really going to reward you with high level cards. The only good part about this, in my opinion, is the ability to get cards that you may not have had in your collection already, like a Rick Barry, like a Jaren Jackson Jr. for free. And if you can get those guys for free, that's a W. Now, I would assume that the actual high-level players, in terms of higher tier cards that are in this event, are definitely going to be harder to get off of ball drops or the prize spots and breakout or whatever. And I don't know. I've been of the opinion all year that we should have ball drops or drawer games or wheel spins or whatever. We should have had that in Showdown and in these game modes all year. So having it now is like, okay, that's cool. At least it's something, but it's only for a couple days and it just doesn't mean a lot. And then they go and they add like, for example, a lot of these duos just suck because like, who's using a Doc Rivers and Austin Rivers duo? This is a 6'1" or a 6'2" and a 6'4" point guard. You're not using those cards together in your front court, in your back court. Come on. The gems of the game, LeBron, who has his jump shot on normal timing and all of his own sigs. Like, are we using that card in June? No, of course not. And like, that's the thing about 90% of these duos, basically all of them, is like, they're not that good because one of the cards isn't that great. Duos don't really upgrade animations unless 2K decided to upgrade animations today for the dynamic duos, which is something that I'd like to know, but unfortunately I can't right now because 2KDB hasn't posted the duo information. But if that would be the one thing that would change my opinion on this, to be completely honest, is if it did turn out that 2K actually changed animations on cards alongside these duos to make them actually good Dark Matters. If they do that, then this does become better, I think. I don't think that that's what this is going to wind up being, though. We'll find out at some point. But at the end of the day, I personally have a hard time getting excited for content where the best stuff that I can earn is still not helpful to my team. You know what I mean? And maybe a Rick Barry or a Jaren Jackson Jr. is helpful to your team. And if you get him off of one of these ball drops or whatever, congratulations, that could be awesome. But in general, this isn't an opportunity to make a lot of MT. This isn't an opportunity to earn a top tier card. This isn't really a grindable quality event. It's just RNG hoping you get one of the better duos or whatever. And even then, even if you get the best cards, they're probably not gonna like play for most people. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. It seems like this is a missed opportunity to actually do something really quality. But at this point in the year, a bunch of Dark Matter dynamic duos where at least one half of the duo and basically every single duo is a bad card is just not, it's not incentivizing anybody to get on the game and grind. It's not rewarding the people who are on the game and grinding, in my opinion. It's just overall mediocre content, in my opinion, that could be executed so much better than it actually is. But I just don't know who this helps. I guess it's cool for the offline grinders maybe and stuff, but for somebody who's playing online, none of these cards are making a triple threat park lineup, let alone a showdown lineup pretty much at this point in the year. So I don't know. I like duos being added to the game. I just want them to be useful duos. I like content that is outside of an event and stuff like that and is free, but I want it to be useful. And this is not really that. I would say this is a step back from last year's Father's Day content, and that's disappointing. So with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.